All right, you guys, go ahead and take a look at this next one in this case, guys. And on this one here, we actually have 3 decimals, right? Like I've talked before in this case, guys, we want to go ahead and convert this decimal into repeating decimal into a fraction. So I first focus in this case, guys, on what's repeating. And if I take a look at this here, guys, I have the 57 that's repeating, right? Once again, guys, what this means is that I have 0 0.45757 57, right? And it just keeps on going, right? At the end, it'll probably round off and give me like a 6, or an 8, maybe. Really just depends which number we start at. But this is what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to convert this repeating decimal into a fraction. So first things first in this case, guys, place value of these ones here, more specifically the last number there. It's actually in the thousands. Place value, right? And we're actually going to be using that. Now the next number I want to go ahead and focus on is the one that's not repeating, which is the 4. Now the 4 in this case, guys, is actually in the tenths place value. So we're going to go ahead and once again play around with these decimals here, guys. So let's go ahead and start off with 0. Let's go ahead and change color. 0 0.457. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply this first one in this case, guys, by the 1,000. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 1,000 here. All right, if I take out my calculator here, guys, and I do, in this case, 0 0.4257 and multiply that by 1,000, we actually get 457, right? So that's going to be equal to 457 with an repeating decimal of 57, right? Like I mentioned in this case, guys, if I were to multiply by this one here, I would be getting 57 over and over again. Next one in this case, guys, is same thing, 0. I forgot to put the repeating line on top. 0.457, where the 57 is repeating. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that now by 10 because the 4 is in the tens place value. That would actually give me, in this case, guys, a 4.57, where the 57 is repeating, right? If I take out the calculator, guys, and I do 0 0.457 times 10, right, that's going to give me 4.57. So from here in this case, guys, we're going to go ahead and now use or focus in this case on this section here, right? And I want to go ahead and create an equation for both of them. So first one in this case, guys, because we multiplied by 1,000, I'm going to go ahead and do 1,000 x, right? Because once again, if I divide by 1,000 on both sides, it's still going to give me that 0 0.457. On the next one in this case, guys, we're going to go ahead and actually do a 10x because once again, it's a tens place value. And if I were to divide it by 10, it still gives me that 0 0.457. So first step in this case, guys, I want to go ahead and subtract. That is my first step, subtract. So let's go ahead and subtract in this case, guys. Our decimal in this case, guys, by the way, cancels out. And I'm left with 457 minus 4, which is going to give us 453. And that, in this case, guys, is actually going to be equal to 990x. So if I do, once again, guys, if I do 1,000 minus 10, right? We got that 990, right? So from here in this case, guys, the next step is to actually solve for x. Solve for x. Only way for us to do that in this case, guys, is to divide both sides by 990. Oh, 990 and 990. And in this case, guys, I want to go ahead and check first if that fraction gives me my decimal of 0 0.457. So let's go ahead and check. And I have 453 divided by 990. And we actually get 0 0.4575757, right? Now let's check out the fraction, guys. And the fraction actually simplifies to 151 over 330. So our solution in this case, guys, would be this here in simplest form. So that is simplified. And that's our fraction to give us 0.457.